Thanks for checking our channel here. This is going to be possibly, hopefully, a repair video on a Kencove KF6000. This is an older variation unit. They make the EK6 now, which is same thing. Same look. It's a blue case versus a red case. They've got a clear lens up here versus a red lens. They share, I think, two of the parts are identical between the two, and then the rest of it's completely different. So this one, there's stuff on the inside, so something's not kosher with that. Also missing the red lens on the front, which I'm gonna look in the package or the box. It came with two of these units, and maybe it's just falling out. These are just glued in place with some super glue, hot glue looking stuff. But we'll see if we can get it going for the customer. We'll give them a free quote on it first. I mean, these things, they're about $335, $350, $360 maybe, somewhere in that range for a new one. So definitely not cheap just to throw it away and go spend money on a new one, especially when they make parts for them. So there's our information. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, we appreciate that. Tell your friends about us. This particular unit is a 2015 model, July. It's a month. 2015 is when it was built. So I'm not even going to plug it in. There's crap running around the inside, so I'm just going to pull it apart here. This is the right bit. No, too small. That's the bit I need. Oh, that's why it's bouncing around. The little stud there is gone. It's broke off right here. It's a stud mount capacitor, and there's a little nut that holds everything, and that's broken. So there's a little stud there, but it's not a big deal. I mean, I'll talk to the customer if this thing's good. I mean, only the way to fix it is to put a new capacitor in there, but if it reads fine, we're gonna leave it alone. This is a 40 microfarad capacitor, so let's test that first, because if it's bad, we'll go ahead and replace it. Let's see, put on microfarads. Let's get our those pliers out, and we'll unplug both wires. We honestly only need to unplug one, but we're going to unplug both just because I want to. You want to take it out circuit from the board. We're getting 37.4 out of 40, so that's close enough. So we'll reuse that. So let's do some more checks here. Maybe that red thing's been broke for a while because there's all kinds of bug crap left over. Transformer physically looks okay. I don't see any. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there's a big old crack right there. Also right there. All across here. So our transformer's definitely been stressed out. It may still be good, I don't know. What I want to do next, I want to unplug one of the transformer wires from the board. So unplug this red one. Come on. I'm going to do a ohms check, resistance check, across the primary side of the transformer, which is the input side, the red and black. There's no polarity on resistance, so it doesn't matter which black and red wire goes. So we're going to go across there to over here. Should be 0.1 to 1 ohm. 0.2, so our primary is fine. That means the board at this, see, on this version, this board and this board both have to be fine in order for the thing to pulse right, because this has got the microcontroller and some of that stuff. This is basically all the charge and discharge side, where it builds up the charge and then has the discharge side of it over there as well. Let's go ahead and just plug it in the way it sits. What should happen, it should come on. One of these lights might flash green for just a second, then it should kind of buzz and click, and then these lights should flash, and that little light there should flash as well every time it clicks. So plug it in. Well, it's flashing, but it ain't clicking. And you can hear that capacitor sizzling, like it's not a bad thing. It's just building up the charge, and it's just not discharging. So that thing's got probably a hell of a charge built up in it right now. So let's let me find a let's see. I got this. Normally don't use this big resistor here. It's for a different scenario, but if it's still good, I think I might have. This one may or may not be good. It's a 200 watt, 200 ohm resistor. 200 ohms, so it's still good. I'm just going to use this. You don't need one this big. I'm going to use it to discharge this capacitor. I'm just going to go across. Oh yeah, I saw it flash down there. So I'll hold it there for a few more seconds. This bleeds off that capacitor energy. That way I can touch things without getting shocked by accident. I'm also going to unplug one of the wires. That way it's out of circuit now. So I think our problem is in this board here, because it is timing and trying to cycle. Well, I think this board's fine, but it's not discharging. And that's where all the discharge stuff happens, as where all these wires are. So we're going to probably just change out this board to a new one. And move on about our day. Get a screwdriver here to get those screws loose. And set this to the side just in case. That board might be good, but I'm pretty certain this board's not our issue. So let me grab the other board. Alright, gotta find one first. I think this is it. So they make a 9 joule and a 13 joule that are very similar to EK9, EK13. I don't think the EK9's around anymore, but the EK or the KF6000, KF13000, whatever. But a 13 joule takes a totally different main power board than this version does. But if you look at the 13 joule board and this board, they look identical. Like they're like 90% the same. So looking them side by side, I can't tell a difference. Plus they share a similar number, so it's really hard to and I wish they would mark them better. Which one's a 13 and which one's a 6 and 9 joule, but they don't. So you get I'm hoping I grab the right one. It's not going to hurt anything if it's the wrong one. It'll still work. But I want that board's more expensive, and I want to put the right board in there. And the way we'll be able to find out here, as I'll be able to tell by the way it sounds. But there's a couple contacts right here, little pins. It's hard to see. Right there and right there, these two little metal pins. That's where our switch would be connected at for the high power, full power switch that's on the 13 joule units. So let's put a white wire there. So let's move this over like that. black wire inside there. Alright, now we got capacitor wires. Okay. So we're going to set that right here. I'll kind of reposition things here and make sense. If I need to touch across that switch contact to see if it makes it sounding different power-wise and clicking-wise, I want to be able to see that. And then if it does increase the voltage on our tester here, I'll know I got the wrong board in there. That means I got the board for the 13 joule, not the 6 and 9 joule. Okay, let's plug this into the wall socket here. It's working again, but it's not going up very high. So let's take this. And we could have other issues somewhere, but let's take our screwdriver and touch across these two contacts here. Oop. Let me get a different screwdriver. Just some crap on that one. See how the voltage jumped way up? We hit the wrong board. So I gotta unplug this. I'm gonna mark this board with a 13, so I know it's the 13 joule board. Because if I look at a 6 to 9 joule unit, the board looks almost identical. I can't physically see what the difference between the two are. There's something different between them. I know the switch doesn't make a difference on the 6 and 9 joule because they don't have a switch on it for the high power and full power setting. So that board's good, but I'm going to put it, I mean, now we know for certain that this old board's bad. Chuck it in the trash. Let me grab another one here. I wish I knew the difference. Let me look at something between on that other board, the new one. They look the same. Alright, I'll set that one right there. I'm gonna go. I got another box of parts here. I'm gonna go grab that box here. This one looks the same too, but like I said, you look at the 6 joule, 9 joule board. They look identical to the 13, but there is something different about them because that switch that's on there. Alright, get the capacitor plugged on first. Okay. Hook a meter back up. switch back on, or oh, there we go. So now we're reading good. So right where we need to be. So this board is the correct one. Now I don't know about this board. This is a brand new board. I don't know if it's for a 13 or 6 or 9. So now we're on the right track. All right. Now what we're gonna have to do, get this cord pulled up and get this unit sat down. It does go into a certain slot. Okay. Now, in order for us to keep this capacitor in place, what we're going to probably do, I've got some silicone stuff. We can drill 4 holes, 2 up here, 2 down here through the case, run a long zip tie through the thing, zip tied in there, and on the back of it, those holes we drilled out, we'll blob it up with some silicone or some kind of sealant. That'll keep from having to replace the capacitor, because it's perfectly fine. Rattle around inside here. Something roll around inside here. What is it? I'm trying to shake out all the dust and garbage that was in here. I found it. Washer that went right here. Alright, so we'll probably go ahead and replace the transformer too while we're at it. So we'll put a new board and a new transformer, because that's pretty stressed out looking. So let me go grab a transformer for it. Alright, transformer. Let's... Now I'm going to pull it back up again. I guess I got ahead of myself. I mean, that transfer might have lasted, who knows, another 5 years or 5 weeks. Because it's definitely seen better days. And they're not that expensive of a part anyways. So this will be a little reassurance. We'll just, yeah, see, it's cracked all the way around. Cracked right all the way around the thing. Yeah, this is a good judgment call on that one to do. Nice new transformer. Come on, there we go. Oh, excuse me. Okay, let's get a drill bit out. Alright, I'm going to get some cable ties. Alright, I'm going to have to make the holes a little bit bigger. The cable ties I grabbed pretty good sized ones, and I didn't make the holes quite big enough. Alright, so we're going to go through this side, up here. I'm not going to cinch it down tight yet when we get started. As I get the capacitor in the position I want it, then we'll snug it up. Right there, looks good. Snip off the excess. I want to position that bulb where we want it. So like I said, we'll take some silicone or some epoxy. We'll fill the holes in, that way bugs can't get in there and make their home. Then I got to put a new lens cover on the front because I don't see it in the package. I'll look real quick. Nope, it was not in there. So I got a brand new lens cover for them here. I need some epoxy. Got this brand new one. This is a gel epoxy by Permatex we buy. What I like about the gel epoxy versus like the standard epoxy type is this is a gel, so it doesn't run. The liquid, more liquidy type, it flows into where you want to go, but I want this to stay put. So this is why I like this stuff, because it stays where I want to stay at. There's a lid, this. I need a flat screwdriver. Push that out. No, I don't remember if this goes in. Yeah, it goes into the front. Like that. No, it popped right out. See, there's the old glue right there. It's not holding no more. So we will take a little piece of paper here, sticky note looking thing. We'll squirt out. We don't need a lot. It's probably too much anyways, but oh well. Stir this up to mix it. And we'll scoop some up. I'm just gonna put some there. Put some over there. Basically what we're wanting to do is get the red and the red cover and the red lens, can put epoxy to both of them. That way they stay put like that. We don't want too much on there because if it gets in the way of the lens, you know, it gets where you can't see the red light. And then I'll put a piece of tape across the front to keep that thing pushed right there. If I flip it back over, this thing could possibly pop up before the epoxy dries. I'll put a piece of tape across here, keep it down flush, and when the epoxy dries, I'll peel that tape off there. But this one's basically done. Well, we'll get that red lens, or the red light, position where we want it, because it's not in there quite right. Yeah, see, it's off a little bit, so we'll try that. That looks a lot better just from physically looking at it. All right, well, this one's done. We'll call it quits. Write them up. I got a second one I need to do first before I write them all the way up. And we'll call the customer with a quote. Well, thanks for checking out our channel.